Hey y'all, hey. I hope this video finds you well, and I know this recipe will find you even better. Y'all, we are just taking a quick pause for the cause before it is time to kick the holiday cooking into gear. We're going to take the time out to make something special for ourselves, y'all, and this is just a gourmet type of sandwich I was in the mood for, and I said, well, let me show them an example of what I make for myself. And there I am blowing you kisses. It's been such a long time. But basically, I have named this sandwich the pickled peppered pig, the hot pickled peppered pig. It's going to have maple ham with cheddar cheese. It's going to have Wright's thick cut bacon that is sweet and spicy, y'all. I had never seen this in the store before last weekend. You'll see the package here. It is Wright's thick cut bacon, and it is the sweet and spicy variety. Delicious. But I'll tell you more about it once I get a taste of it after it comes out of the oven. As you can see, I'm placing the bacon on a wire rack. The wire rack allows the air to circulate around the bacon, allowing it to cook as evenly on the bottom as it is on the top. And then for easy cleanup, I'll always line the baking dish with either parchment or foil. But look at that seasoning on the edge of that bacon. You can also see how beautifully marbled it is and thick cut it is. So there I've laid it on the rack. I'm going to put it in the oven on around 425 degrees. And then I decided, well, you know what? We're having this very rich sandwich with the ham and the spicy bacon. And I decided to take some asparagus out of the refrigerator. I'm showing you how this is a thing I do. I keep the asparagus in the rubber bands and I just move the bottom rubber band up and then I cut the woody end off of the asparagus. So it makes it very easy to do and it allows you to cut it more evenly when you leave the asparagus in the bundle. But after a good rinse, this type of produce that's exposed to the elements, exposed to people passing by, coughing, sneezing, that type of thing, whether it's fruit or green vegetables, any form of produce, I always put it in water and baking soda. That's what I do in order to get it clean. I'll let it soak in a rinse like that and then rinse it off. You want to make sure that you pat it dry. And y'all, I'm showing you how these kitchen scissors, initially I used a knife to cut the bundle, but kitchen scissors come in handy, y'all. And I don't know if you saw that hole there, but there's a nutcracker in the middle as well. But get you a pair of kitchen scissors. One day I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree. For those of you who've never just taken the time to look and see what all they have in the Dollar Tree, they have a plethora of cooking utensils, cooking tools, and I really can't think of anything they don't have. So get you some kitchen shears. You can cut meat like boneless, skinless chicken breasts with your kitchen shears. You can cut up like chives, green onions, greens. It comes in handy. So get you a pair. Now this is another thing I want to show y'all. Instead of buttering your buns, a person who worked in a restaurant taught me this secret. This is how they make great tasting burgers. You actually put the mayo on your bun and then turn it down in the pan. So because the mayo has oil in it, it does the same thing the butter would do. And I love mayo. I'll be honest, I love mayo. But when you do it like this, cooking the mayo into the bread, you'll see how beautifully it comes out. You don't even need mayo anymore. This is pickle de Gaia. Y'all, I picked this up just because I saw it in the store the same day I got the sweet and spicy bacon. And this is delicious as well. I'm going to talk to you about it. That's the great thing about this food review mixed with this little, recipe for you all is that I hadn't tasted this before. I hadn't tasted the pickle de Gaia. That's what they call it. It's a play on pico de Gaia, but it's pickle de Gaia. And look how finely diced the pickles are. It's briny, salty. It has a little bit of spice. You can see carrot chopped up in there finely as well. Maybe even have a little pimento. I didn't really read the ingredients, but now that I'm looking at it, I can see those things. But the pickle, the Gaia has a nice brine to it, just like good kosher pickles have. Now look at how beautiful these buns are. Y'all, if you were to use butter because of the cream in the butter, you wouldn't get it. It wouldn't just be as toasty. That toastiness really comes from that oil that's inside that mayo. So after I toasted the bread, I took my ham. I didn't fry this ham very long because I didn't want it to dry out. I still wanted it to have a lot of moisture in it. So now we have our bread put aside. Keep in mind, this is a quick sandwich because all we have to do is cook that bacon. Because the bacon is meatier, it does take a while to cook. I just came on to tell y'all, smelling all this ham and this bacon, of course, I considered frying some eggs and adding an egg to the sandwich. But I decided since I have the element of freshness with the lettuce, we'll leave the egg off. And I have another surprise. We're adding another green vegetable to the side of the dish. Okay? Be right back. Y'all, I had to try this bacon. I said I was gonna let everything else be a surprise when I taste the sandwich, but this bacon, see how it's not completely crispy yet? But this is WRIGHTS thick cut, so it takes a while. I had it in there on 425 for 20 minutes, and you still have this. Now the edge part of it is crispy, but because it's cut so thick, the meaty part of it. Oh, this is delicious. It's not too sweet, because honestly, I'm not a fan of sweet meat. It's not too sweet. It's not too hot. It's perfect. It just has this hint of spice in addition to the smoke that's already there, and just a hint of sweetness. It's gonna be a good sandwich. Okay, our asparagus is going down. As you can see, what I did was I left the bacon grease. I left the bacon grease in the pan, and now what I'm doing is I'm shuffling or rolling, actually I'm rolling the asparagus around in the oil so that they can get completely covered. When I roast asparagus, I always cook them this way, and it just seems to me that they work out and cook better when they're lined up evenly. I don't just throw them in the pan. I have all the tips turned towards one way and then the opposite. Well, in other words, all of the tips are pointed towards the same way in the pan. And the tips are much more tender than the stem of the asparagus. So if you can imagine that one side of an oven always cooks a little faster than the other, that's why it's important to keep them all turned the same way. So basically I rolled them around in the bacon flat, and then there was pink Himalayan salt that I sprinkled over it liberally. Here is the bacon, y'all. The bacon is out of the oven. Look how, oh my goodness, look how thick it is. And now I'm showing you the underside when I realized how that other side was even more golden and perfect looking. I'm flipping it over so you can see how the sugar, the honey on the bacon, and the spices and the fat from the bacon itself has all just caramelized into the smoky color. Alright, and now checking on the asparagus. Like I said, you can do onion powder, garlic powder. I really enjoy the flavor of asparagus, so I hit it with the pink Himalayan salt. I do have one trick and one tip I'm going to show you. I think it's coming right now. You all the first to hear this, and this is what it is. It's lemon juice. So that's lemon juice in a bottle. But if you have a fresh lemon, you can use that as well. You have to hit the asparagus as soon as it comes out the oven, y'all. And it's just something about that lemon juice that brightens up the asparagus. It just brightens it and makes it taste fresher. Your asparagus will not taste like lemon at all. Okay, so give that a try. Now we're ready to assemble our sandwiches. All right, now let's finish assembling this sandwich. So this is maple ham, and I put the shredded cheddar on the ham. I wanted the ham to have cheddar with it. I didn't pile this sandwich high with meat, you all. That's one thing I noticed a lot of people do online, and I understand that it attracts more attention when you have big, humongous portions, sauce and cheese running and dripping everywhere. But I'm big on balance. I'm big on balance as it relates to flavor. I'm big on balance as it relates to texture. I like for things to be balanced. So I don't want there to be a whole lot of meat in this sandwich. This meat is very rich because you have ham that is sweet, both sweet and salty, and you have bacon that is both sweet and salty. Then I combined it with two different types of cheese. The cheddar is on the maple ham, and then the Swiss is going to be on the bottom of the ham. Okay, so see how beautiful that bacon is. Now for another added layer of texture and freshness. You want freshness to balance out the saltiness and the richness of the pork. So I put quite a bit of romaine, and I picked romaine hearts. As you can see, there's some hearts in there. I wanted the crunch from the hearts, and I wanted the big bite of freshness, so that when you take a bite, you have the ham, the cheese, the bacon, but then you have the cool, crisp freshness of the lettuce as well. And as you can see, I'm putting quite a bit on there, and that's exactly why. As I'm assembling, I'm thinking about what that bite is going to taste like and what that bite is going to feel like in my mouth. And keep in mind, another thing is how you layer your sandwich. So here I want fresh on top of fresh. So now I've used my spoon and drained off quite a bit of the juice that was in the pickled dagaya. I'm sure they left it in there so the condiment would be really, really flavorful. But after I opened it, I just took the spoon, leaned it over the sink, and drained a lot of the juice out. But see how beautiful this is? You're going to get that crunch from the pickle. It's not wet. It's not going to make the sandwich soggy. It's going to be cool and crunchy. And even the pickled dagaya, I don't know if I told y'all this, but the pickled dagaya has spice in it as well. So this sandwich is really coming out gourmet, and I'm really proud of it. Even as I'm stacking it, I'm knowing that it's going to work well in terms of the flavors and such, because I have all of the right components. Now I'm going in with red onion. I just love onion. I love onion on everything, especially a salad or a sandwich. Red onion is much better for you. It has antioxidants. It has vitamins. Red onions are really, really good for you. So if you're an onion lover like me, considering for a long time all I bought is white and or Vidalia sweet onions. Look at how beautiful that bread is. Y'all, that is just mayonnaise on the bun turned over in the pan, no butter. But I'm just an onion lover, and I love purple or red onion just as much as I do white. But now that I've learned the added benefits, health benefits, and the health benefits that the red onion has, then I buy just as many red or purple onions, if not more, than my white ones. Okay, so the last cherry on top, if you would, are the tomatoes. I had Roma tomatoes in the refrigerator, and I contemplated putting those on the sandwich as well, but I didn't want to risk any moistness. So I said, you know what? I have these grape tomatoes. I could stick them in the sandwich, and that way when you take a bite of the sandwich, and you're a tomato lover, you probably will want some tomato. So all you have to do is pop a little candy grape tomato in your mouth. Okay, so that gives you the satisfaction of having tomato to go with your sandwich, but you don't have to worry about it making your sandwich a mess. Now we get to add our asparagus. So I didn't realize you couldn't quite see them all that well, but I'm just putting them to the side of the sandwich. So you'll see the finished plate here shortly. Get ready to enjoy. And here's the close up, y'all. I don't know if I had a chance to tell you, but these are actually onion buns. Oh my goodness, the bread was so delicious as well. There I've zoomed in so you can see. Now you can see the texture. When you can look at food and you can see what it tastes like, and your heart, just the thought of it is pleasing, then you know you got a good thing going on. And so Stella Rosa Asti was the wine of the evening. I'm actually reviewing wine on my TikTok channel. So if you want to come and see me there, I am Kisha's Crumbs on TikTok as well. Please be sure to follow me. So I did a review of the wine there on TikTok, and I'm just showing you what we're having. And now here we go
to Kisha's
for the food review.
Y'all, it is
enjoy.
Time to celebrate. I am here to celebrate my upcoming birthday. This is 30 days. 30 days on each of my platforms. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, make sure you follow me on TikTok. I am Kisha's Crumbs on TikTok. And on Instagram, I Want Confections, KONFECTIONS. On I Want Confections on IG, I'll be letting you know 30 reasons why you should choose and say I Want Confections as your food service supplier. And on TikTok, at least once a week during the 30 days, I'll be doing a wine review. And we have here tonight with our meal, Stella Rosa Asti. Okay, so you can follow me over on TikTok, Kisha's Crumbs, if you want to hear about the wine review. And then here on YouTube, I'm going to be doing 30 quick meals, 30 quick side items, meals, meats, veggies, desserts leading up to the holiday that you can enjoy for your holiday season, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas. But tonight you may say, well, Kisha, that's a sandwich. That's right. The reason is because we as family cooks, we so often neglect ourselves. We get in the kitchen and we get straight to work before nourishing ourselves. And so I came to show you this very special sandwich. You will have already seen how I prepared it. And so now I just came to sit down and actually have the meal with you and tell you how it tastes, okay? As well as let you know what wine I'm drinking. So I have some asparagus, and we're gonna start out with the asparagus. Needs to say my prayers, and you can see the asparagus is not completely limp. Oh my goodness. Can y'all hear that? I love to eat the asparagus with my fingers, just like this. I don't know that I've ever eaten asparagus with a fork. Y'all, it is perfect. The texture is perfect. We have bacon on the sandwich. I didn't have to add any oil because once I took the bacon out the dish, as you'll see here, I added the asparagus in. I only put pink Himalayan salt, a hefty sprinkle of pink Himalayan salt, baked it on high, like 425, the same temperature I baked the bacon on. Shook it around midways, and then after I pulled it out, y'all, my secret, you know I give my secrets away here on Kisha's Crumbs. My secret is that I always sprinkle some lemon juice on my asparagus right out of the oven. You can't even taste the lemon on it, but something about that lemon juice adds a brightness, and it's like it just brings out the freshness of the asparagus. It's not that it makes it taste like lemon. And I don't know what made me do that one day, but I took my asparagus out the oven, took a fresh lemon. Fresh lemon is best, but tonight I even used lemon juice out of the bottle. It is still delicious, but try it. Just salt, very simple. Your oil, your pink Himalayan salt, that's the only salt I use, unless I'm cleaning vegetables and fruit and meat. Then I'll use iodized salt, but for my cooking, I use pink Himalayan salt. Try it, y'all. This is delicious. And I intentionally waited until I sat down with you to taste each thing so I could give you my true reaction. And this, perfection. Now I still hadn't decided what I was gonna call this sandwich. Something like a little peppered piggy with pickle. That's what I think. Little peppered piggy with pickle. Y'all, this is basically a cheddar and ham sandwich with Swiss and bacon. The bacon is WRIGHTS, and if you know, you know, the best bacon. WRIGHTS thick cut bacon, but it is sweet and spicy. WRIGHTS thick cut bacon. So you have the ham with the cheddar, you have the Swiss cheese with the bacon. The bacon is sweet and spicy, WRIGHTS thick cut bacon. The ham is maple bacon. We have red onion. Did you know that red onion was healthier for you than purple onion? Let me tell you about the benefits. On here as well, our unique item is Pickled de Gaia. Not Pico de Gaia, but Pickled de Gaia. I saw it and I said, I have to try that. So we got rid of all of the juice and we put a healthy spoonful of Pickle de Gaia on here. My peppered piggy pickle sandwich. The tomatoes, I have Roma tomatoes in the fridge that I could have put on here, but instead I put them on this skewer so that I could enjoy the tomato, but I don't have to worry about it messing with the texture and the integrity of my crisp bacon. And we also have romaine lettuce on here. So I'm gonna cut it in half. So you can see how fabulous it is inside. We toasted our bacon. We toasted our onion bun. Oh God. I'm gonna show you a picture of a sandwich that I had in New Orleans. I hope I can find it. But I knew when I was preparing this that this is what it would remind me of. Basically, it was a pork burger that I had from a butcher shop in New Orleans, Louisiana. And when I got ready to decide what I wanted to put on this sandwich with the ham, the thick cut bacon, I said, oh my goodness, it's gonna remind me of that pork burger. Let's try it. Come through pickle on the end. Y'all, the meats are both sweet and smoky. And as you continue to chew, because I put the fresh, crisp vegetables on the top. The crunchy and thicker meats at the bottom. As you continue to chew, that pickled dagaya is actually a little sour. It's more like a sour pickle. Mm. And it's spicy, but not too spicy. You have the onion roll, so you get the onion from your roll as well as the red onion on the sandwich. Y'all, this is a blend. I hope you can see it. This sandwich is impeccably balanced in taste and in texture. I can guarantee you that. Mm. I'm so glad I didn't put the tomato on it, because the tomato, it wouldn't have ruined it, but it wouldn't have done enough for the sandwich to sacrifice making it too juicy for a tomato. Only put a tomato on this if you just love tomatoes on everything, because it does nothing for the sandwich. But this right here, it is so perfect. This is Stella Rosa Asti. A little sweet for my taste, but it goes well with this pork. The pork is salty, yet sweet, so that balances it out again. See, these asparagus balance it out as well, because you have the freshness from the asparagus. Y'all, I'm telling you. I'm glad I shared this with y'all. The whole point was to let you know that as you're in the kitchen, cooking your heart away, baking your heart away for your family, take the opportunity to make something special for yourself. It doesn't need to be expensive. Oh, that bite was so good. It doesn't have to be extravagant. I used what I had. The only thing, I had asparagus in the fridge, plenty of asparagus. The only thing I needed that I didn't have on here were the rolls. I knew I wanted a special roll, so I got onion rolls. I didn't have that. But I could have done it with toasted light bread. If you're from the South, you know what light bread is. If you're not from the South, light bread is the same as plain white bread. Y'all, this pickle dagaya